All right, look, guys, let's break down John chapter 7. I'm going to try to do it in one part, so it might be a two-parter. Yeah, that's long. Okay, so the chapter context, John chapter 7 is the beginning of the end of Jesus' public ministry. The feeding of the 5,000 in chapter 6 was the pinnacle of earthly popularity. That enthusiasm was dampened when Jesus explained the true meaning of his ministry. Here in chapter 7 and 8, Jesus will confront his critics at a major Jewish festival, using metaphors drawn from ritual celebrations to highlight themes from his preaching. The following chapters include additional miracles and teachings from Jesus as his eventual crucifixion draws near. So let's break this down. So chapter 7 and 8 represent the beginning of the end of Jesus' public ministry. In these passages, he will openly challenge the spiritual errors of the Jewish leaders and declare his role in the salvation of mankind. In response, the religious officials will turn deeper towards a plot for murder. John chapter 7 begins after another leap in the Gospel's timeline. The event of chapter 6 occurred around 1 year prior to Jesus' crucifixion. The events of chapter 7 centered on the Feast of Booths Tabernacles, happened about 6 months later. This feast was among the most important in Jewish tradition. It was a hub of religious and cultural activity. Okay, my mouse went out on me again. So while reading this chapter, it is important to recognize the meaning of John's terminology. At the time, Jerusalem would have been filled with local foreign visitors, Jewish pilgrims, and many others. As such, there are three main groups involved in this narrative. The Jews, used most often in the Gospel of John, is a reference to the religious leaders of Jerusalem or those who support them. The people are the mixed crowd of those attending the festival. The third group are Jewish people living in and around Jerusalem, most of whom have sided with the opinion of the local religious leaders. These things is dirty. The passage begins with Jesus' family mocking him, possibly with a reference to the event of chapter 6. They assume a man seeking publicity and fame ought to do his magic tricks at more public festivals of the year. By all reasonable